Hi, I'm Jeremy, and sadly, this is the most productive I've been all day. Well, we've got a little bit of ground to cover today, so let's hit it. So last week we talked about General Petraeus stepping down, and now he's not going to be testifying in front of the House Foreign Affairs Committee about the Benghazi attack over in Libya. You know, we've talked about that ad nauseum. But now it appears that Secretary of Defense Clinton is going to also be stifling their attempts to get information by, well, apparently she was asked to speak next week at some point, and she's like, hey, remember that time that there's something really important to do in Australia? And so we're going to go do that thing in Australia. It's kind of an important thing. It's about, you know, defense and making sure that the U.S. and Australia are on good terms and stuff like that. But the point is, she was asked to speak one day, and she's like, you know what, actually I'm going to be in Australia, and they haven't asked her any other time to come in. Like, can you not be like, hey, as soon as you land, come over here, and we'll take an hour of your time. You know, you're on your way home to sleep. No, come here. Come here. We'll take an hour of your sleep time, and you can come answer some questions like, you know, real people do. Not just, you know, run off and avoid questioning, just like General Petraeus and Eric Holder and everybody. I rap on Eric Holder all day and all night, but at the same time, he deserves it. So it's okay. And then a story just for my girlfriend Nancy, who just left here, flew back to Salt Lake City. That's kind of why we did the Friday show together. But something that might humor you, darling, is a Southwest Airlines flight in Denver on the taxiway to go from the runway to the concourse. Caught some ice and slid off the taxiway. Oh, well, I'm really just glad it wasn't you, or at least I hope it wasn't you. You didn't say anything about it on the phone. Was it you? No? Hopefully not. Love you. And in choosing between stories that I don't really care about, there was the Michael Vick getting a concussion story, and that doesn't really matter to me. But what matters less to me is actually Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez. They finally broke up officially. Apparently Justin Bieber's been like teasing about it on Twitter for a little while, but it's official now. So those of you who lust after teeny bopper Disney princess girls, go after Selena Gomez, and those of you who like boys who don't really have a lot of talent but certainly have a lot of money to back it up, go for the Justin. You know, he's the Biebs. Get him. And a story that hit me right in the childhood, Kevin Clash, who, for those of you who don't know, is the voice of Elmo, was accused very recently of having a sexual relationship 7 years ago with a boy who was, at the time, 16 years old. Now he's 23, and he's like, hey, I don't have to take this anymore. I'm going to take my frustrations out and contact some lawyers and sue the crap out of Kevin Clash. And so now Elmo is not at Sesame Street. Elmo's on a road trip to go answer some questions. Oh, it hurts me so much. You know, I actually have a pretty decent Elmo voice. Yeah, if y'all are looking for a an Elmo to fill in for Kevin, where Kevin is going and answering allegations, you know where to find me. And from the not-so-serious to the very serious, over in Indianapolis, Indiana, there was a home that apparently there were not, at least the owners weren't there, but this home exploded over the weekend, and they're not quite sure what happened. There's no natural gas leaks in the gas lines now. There's no they don't believe that there was a meth lab there. Apparently meth labs can explode, by the way. Those of you who cook meth, be careful. That stuff is deadly. Also, it could kill you. Anyways, so we move on. This house, it's totally gone. Whatever blew it up, and they haven't settled in on anything quite yet. But when you look at it, it's like it just decided that there was going to be no more house. There's one whole wall of this 2-story house that's still standing for heaven knows what reason. But the rest of it is across yards and houses, and apparently you could hear it 3 miles away, and dozens of houses around it had windows blown out. The houses next to it are going to have to be demolished because they have structural damage that cannot be repaired. It's a really big bloody mess. Well, not bloody mess. Like 2 people were killed, apparently, allegedly. They haven't really said who they were yet, but it's frightening because, you know, it's just a house in a neighborhood. You could be living next to it, and all of a sudden it explodes. It looks just crazy. But anyways, thank you so much for watching The Extraordinary Times. I really want to talk about this Papa John's story, but if I get too deep into it, I'll get really angry. So Papa John's CEO commented on how his business is going to have to cut hours of people because of Obamacare being implemented, and there's like people going after his business now because he actually said the truth. And so I'm just going to leave it right there, because if I go too deep into it, I'll be here for another 5 minutes talking. So anyways, thank you for watching. Like and favorite, and I think subscribe's down there. It might still be up there somewhere. I don't know, but we'll find out later. But until next time.